career. So hi YouTube, welcome to the GA. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Please don't ever do that ever again. Thank you. Alright, I'm calling the GA back to order at whatever time it is now. 5:35 p.m. Copenhagen time. Welcome. Hopefully this time you won't call me out of order for speaking. That would be nice. Okay. Since we're still basically the same GA, we're not going to do a roll call. The chair would, however, like to acknowledge South Korea for finally showing up. A little applause for South Korea for finally showing up. Yes. Good. We are moving on with GA1 onwards. The chair would also like to acknowledge the president for showing up. First up is 72nd IVSA Symposium in Asia. We're excited to see Mr. T, how do I get this to look different? We're just waiting for a second to pull up the presentation. James, are you doing it? It is still I'm getting there, aren't you?
Alice Luciania, Alice Indonesia. Okay, I know guys you are excited coming to Bali. Please. Alright, so our next symposium will be held in Bali on 18 until 26th of January 2024 and the place is in Bali, Indonesia. Alright, so as you know, like IVSA Indonesia, we have 10 universities, but we chose Bali because we have one university there. The name was Udayana University. And our symposium theme for global wildlife security. Alright, so we move to our itinerary. For day 0, we have welcome dinner. And the next day, we have my event, opening ceremony, and then we do university visit, and then we have GA, international stand, and GA2 for the first day. Alright, so we go to day 2, we have GA3, and then we are going to optional activities in Bali Bird Park, Bali Zoo, or Bali Archery Park. You can choose for the optional activities, and we have 7 options. Alright, so this is the places for our optional tour. You can choose one of these. And the day 3 we have lecture, and then optional workshop, and then we have GA, and then IVSA workshop, and the last one we have cultural event in the day 3. Alright, so anyway guys, for cultural evening, I know alcohol is illegal in Indonesia. And especially in Bali, you can drink alcohol and you can party together in cultural evening. Okay, so for the day 4, we have GA5 and GA6, and then EO meeting, and then we have live auction. And the day 5, we go to Garuda Wisnu Kencana, and it's like mind-building, mind icon in Bali, and after this we go to Krishna Souvenir. You can buy souvenirs or anything, and the last we go to Kecak dance visit. The place was in Ubud, and it's like traditional dance from Bali with the sunset view and fire. So beautiful. And for the day 6 we have optional lecture and lecture 2, and we have GA, and last we have formal dinner. Okay, for the day 7 we have GA8, beach visit, and white t-shirt party. And the last day, yeah, okay, so if you going to go symposium, you must come back, but you can extend in Bali if you go. Alright. So yeah, this is for summary. We have GA 22 hours, and we have lecture 4 hours, workshop 7 hours, other activities 13.5 hours, and mandatory agenda 10.5 hours. Alright, so this is our hotel. We use our hotel, and the places was near from Kuta Beach. I think like 5 until 10 minutes. You walk to Kuta Beach. You can see sunset if you have time. Alright, so this is for our budgeting. We have income for delegates and for our sponsor, and this is the total for the income. And this is for outgoing, for transport and accommodation, for hotel, GA venue, and in Bali we use bus and equipment for sound system, and for consumption, for lunch, dinner, and waiter, because you guys not allowed drink tap water in Bali, so we provide you for a waiter. Okay, so this is for activities, and this is for delegation, secretary, media, and sponsorship. And yeah, we have ongoing summary, and this is total. We have profit, and yeah, the number of delegates 150 delegates, and symposium fee, 360 euros without central tax. And for visa requirement, just visa on arrival, and the time zone UTC +8. Yeah, you can see it's need for visa. And currency 1 euro in 16,000 rupiah. Alright. And this is for the document. You can see the link if you want details. And yeah, this is vaccination requirement for IVSA, virus, liver, and others. And yeah, travel insurance is mandatory because this event will cover any medical expenses. And okay, so for the whole symposium, we go to Nusa Penida and Bintaro. It's for 40 delegates, and this is for the itinerary. We go to for the day 1 until day 5. We do surfing and other things there, surfing and then snorkeling. Yeah, we can do anything in Bali. And the places was in 2 islands, in Bali and Lombok. Yeah. Alright, so this is the destination. Yeah. Alright, this is for the post-symposium fee, 320 euros, and this is for on-count and in-count. And this is for our sponsor that we have, and yeah, please scan this and please follow our Instagram account.
Thank you, Alice, for that wonderful presentation. It looks amazing. I'm very sad I probably won't be able to go. I won't. Are there any questions for Alice? Tessa? It's fine, you can take this.
Yes, I'm say that it's speaking number 14. On your income, I saw that you still have a few sponsors that are on negotiation. Assuming that you manage to get them signed as well, what do you plan on doing with that amount of money? Will you be giving out extra reduced fees? Will the delegate fee be lowered, or will you have extra tickets? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tessa, for your question. And for our income, we have a lot of negotiation, and our sponsorship, OC for our sponsorship, usually like we have, this is for PT Santi Pharma, we have made a deal the last weeks, and we will put our surplus in the post-congress because we still have minus in the post-congress. Yeah, for this.
Timo?
57 to Belgium. 90 liters of water for 150 delegates will not be enough, I think. How do you plan to manage that? What is it for? What do you mean? On another side, yeah, this one, water, 90 liters, ice 4 times. Will not be enough.
No.
Ah. Okay, I'm so sorry.
I still don't understand, but hydration is important. Gabriela.
Gabriela Vesi, Italy, number 13. I was wondering if you have planned something for alumni, or is it something that you're still working on, or is it not going to happen?
to have a question?
Science Laboratory IVSA meeting number 74. I'm still confused about water. I'm sorry. It's like 90 liters per 4 per 8. I don't get it. Thanks.
Unless would you like to explain the water situation?
Alright, so for the water, like we buy 1 liter with 19 liters, and we each day we arrange like 4 liter. I think I will send to the delegates group for the like 19 liters.
Any other questions? Marie?
You call for this scope meeting number 12. Regarding the water situation, this can be revised in the budget. It's not an issue. We can still have time to manage this.
Yes, I'm really sure our delegates will do it. I'm sure we'll survive. Matteo?
Matteo Carnevale, IVSA. I would like to ask you if it's possible to see again the itinerary, because I have a question regarding the transport team. So I saw that some days the transporting is 1 hour and some other days is 30 minutes. For some lecture it's 1 hour, and for the GA sometimes for the GA is 1 minute, is 30 minutes. Can you explain that?
Alright, thank you, Matteo. It's for transporting from the from hotel to the uni, and it's transporting for the uni move to another places, but it's still in university.
So it's different locations?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget to state your name.
Sorry.
No, yeah. Are there any other questions? Kennedy? Please wait for the microphone.
Jimmy Duffy, IVSA Ireland. I think it's a really good itinerary. I just saw that your culture night is that the GA starts at 9 a.m. And I was just wondering if you're thinking, like, will you be sure that everybody will attend at that time? Not that they won't, but...
You don't have to answer to that. That's a concern you can take into consideration. Unless you really want to answer, that's also fine. Any other discussions or questions? John?
John Penn, IVSA Taiwan, video number 59. I just want to clarify the previous speaker said, because in the itinerary, like some transportation from the hotel to the uni, it says it's 1 hour. But we're not talking about you clarify like the transportation in the uni. But at the same day, sometimes it's 30 minutes to the hostel, sometimes 45 minutes. Yeah, I just want to clarify that, the question.
All right, the question was already answered. It's just because not everything takes place in the same building at the university, so that's why sometimes it takes longer and sometimes it takes less time. GA and lectures aren't necessarily in the exact same place like we have here. Any other questions?
Can I add something?
Sure. Can someone give you a microphone?
Martina Marna, IVSA Indonesia. I just want to clarify about the water situation with the gas. Sorry, we will have enough water, don't worry, because you also gonna get water from the hotel, so you don't need to worry about the water, because if we don't have enough, we will provide more, so no one is gonna be thirsty, okay? And also, just to clarify, Just to clarify about alcohol, so like I think the GA previously someone told us that alcohol is illegal in Indonesia. I just want to clarify that alcohol is not illegal in Indonesia. We do have some restriction in some part of Indonesia, but you don't have to worry about Bali. But it's all free in Bali. Just to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Alright, then thank you, Alice, for the wonderful presentation. And next on the agenda is 73rd IVSA Congress Peru.
Sorry.
Here we go.
I will do this presentation presenting the maximum fee on behalf of the organizing committee. Well, we had a meeting with our MOD, Banda, and we agreed on having just 145 delegates for the Congress in Peru. And this will take place in August. Since July we have our independence celebrations, so everything gets higher. It will be from August 4th to August 15, 2024. We're here we will visit, and regarding the itinerary, Thursday, 4th of August, we have the arrivals and dinner at night. So, in day one, we have the opening day in one of the universities, because we will have GAs in 2 universities in Lima. And also, that's why you're going to see transportation that takes longer some days, because the other university is like kind of far from the center of the city. Then we have day of GAs and lectures. On the day 3, we have the silent auction. Then we have the EU meeting. I'm mentioning just the main events that we will have. On the day 5, we'll have tours around city Lima and the live auction, and we'll have 3 options, as you can see, so the ladies will decide where to go. On the day 6, we'll have international stands. Then the next day, we'll have technical visits and cultural evening. We will provide 4 options that they are kind of far from the city, so that's why we put in the schedule 2 hours of transportation. We'll have practical workshops at one of the universities and the formal dinner on the 13th. And the final day, on the way to Shubaki. And the pictures on the 15th. This is the summary. And regarding the accommodation, the hotel in Selena will be located in Miraflores, which is a district of Lima. And about the budget. So we decided to have 145 delegates. We have 134 normal delegates, 3 USK spot, 8 exco, and a CF task. And regarding the sponsors, we have better conversation with Broward, and they talk about giving us 2,500 euros. And also we had a little conversation with Morgan Ingelheim, but we don't have an amount yet. We approached some sponsors in Osaka and Peru last year, but we don't have answers yet. So one of the members of the IVSA will be attending Osaka this year in this one. So we can finally have final results with the sponsors, because it's hard for us to get sponsors, local sponsors, so we need to approach international ones. This is the outcome we calculated for everything. Basically the hotel, the food, which we're not paying for the breakfast because it's included in calculation. And we decided to have all dinners at the hotel, like to save money in transportation, and also because we agreed with the hotel that we're going to have dinner at the hotels and they will provide us their places for our events like silent auction, live function, our white t-shirt party. I think this is the event, so we'll pay for that. Also, we will have to rent buses because it's not easy and safe to go around in medicine buses. The formal dinner, well, I said cultural evening, auctions, and local party, we're not paying because they will provide it by the hotel because we're paying for dinners. Articles and sales tax because it was very. This is a summary. And the maximum fee is 400 euros without CF task. And before moving to approve it, I want to mention that some things that you may ask. Basically, we don't have, that's a budget that we have for the hotel, but this will change because since we are having dinner, all dinners at the hotel, we asked them like to lower this price, and they are considering sponsoring us a percentage of the price that they gave us. And also, we are talking with one of the universities because they want to have lectures there, and if we can manage to have lectures at that university, they will provide us with transportation, so we won't have to pay for that. But we decided to put the price because we don't have anything confirmed yet because we just finished last year 2 weeks ago. Basically that's it. Regarding the sponsors, we're doing our best to talk into the sponsors, but it's kind of difficult for us, but we'll continue doing our best. And we'll see. That's it. And that's it. I moved to approve 400 euros as maximum fee for the Congress approval.
Okay. Any discussion? If you want to say something first, you may. But then Lisa? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Lisa Bureau, IVSA, Netherlands, bidding number 27. I just want to ask you, briefly mentioned the support from the university. Is it also possible that they provide support, for example, that they provide a GA hall and perhaps also other financial support? Is that something that's already been discussed with the university?
Well, we are having GAs in 2 universities, and they are providing us the hall for free. So basically, they can give, like, they don't want to give us money, basically. So we talked to them because the vice president studies in that university and they love IVSA. So they said that if we can have like lectures or some DAs there, they can provide transportation these days. So definitely the amount here for transportation will be lower because they will provide us. And because we need like 3 buses to transport all delegates from the hotel to the university.
Any further questions? We can keep this for as long as it is.
Julian IVSA, bill number 122. I remember that in Slovenia you had way more sponsors than shown today. Can you please explain?
I made a presentation, the one in Slovenia. I put all the companies we approached in Kosova, but unfortunately we haven't received answers from them since January.
Because I remember also Julian IVSA that he bill number.
You also just can't speak again. I'm sorry. Tessa.
Tessa van Leiden, IVSA Netherlands, bidding number 14. I saw that you had, at the expense, you had former dinner listed at €1,000. Is that like already a signed contract? Is at least for me, that's a very low price. Maybe that's doable.
€1,000? Yes, it is. Peru. Yes, it is because we also sent a request to 3 hotels in the one where Joseph Delegates has the capacity for 145 delegates, even more because we talked about that we can invite like companies and places, so we will have more than 145 people in the place. So we sent a request. We put that price calculated price because we don't receive the answers yet from the 3 hotels that we have sent. So we will send again on this.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Any further discussion? Questions? Julia? You see, now I want to hear you speak again.
Julia Grone, IVSA bidding number 122. Always regarding the sponsors, I remember you were talking about in Ljubljana about the government sponsor or giving money to the event.
Yes, I said no. At first I said no. They can give us like some places to have, they can organize some activities, cultural activities for all delegates, which is already good. But at first I said no, but we are also like talking again to them. I mean, we know the vice president is talking again to them, so we can have like a support from them.
Thank you.
You paid a lot of attention to Slovenia, and you remembered really well. Are there any further questions for Tommy? Any discussion on the motion on the floor, which is approving the maximum fee at €400? Any objections? If you want to, then we just vote on it. Okay, seeing none, motion passes. Maximum fee is set at $400.
So, thanks for that. Regarding these and requirements, most of the countries only don't require visa to enter Peru as tourists, but if you can check, so I can put it like a QR code, but if you can check that page, you will see the country needs a visa to enter Peru. And the post-congress, the most funny part. The post-congress will be from August 15 to August 19 in the city of Cusco, where is our beautiful and amazing Machu Picchu that you can see over there. We are planning basically to have a tour, 4-day tour around the city, visiting the best places. Here is the city of Cusco, salt flats of Maras, Machu Picchu. You'll have a full day in Machu Picchu and the White Lagoon. This is the tentative itinerary that we have. So after on the departures day, we will go with all the ways to the airport because we can go by bus. It's a 24-hour trip and I don't think anyone wants to travel 24 hours in the bus. So we will go by flight. It's an hour and a half, more or less. We don't have activities planned this day because city is in a high altitude, so you have to get accustomed to the city for not feeling bad. And after that, on the 16th, we have a full day tour in the White Lagoon and Salina de Maras, basically just a place where you can see and buy salt. Day 2 and 3, we have Machu Picchu. It will be by hiking experience. So you'll be hiking to go to Machu Picchu, and then you will return to the city, and you'll have your flight from Cusco to Lima. This is the budget for 60 delegates, and this price includes accommodation in Cusco and Aguascalientes, because before arriving in Machu Picchu, there's a city called Aguascalientes where you have to stay before going to Machu Picchu. And this is the post-congress fee, €380, and we're managing to lower it also.
Some of the partners we have basically is universities and potential sponsors. Thank you.
I hurt my ear. Laura?
Lauren Winker, badge number 7, IVSA, USA. I have a question about the hiking, because if you're like me, you overpack for everything. Is there going to be a place where people can put their bags, or are there people going to be taking their like big bag up the hill? I know that would be a silly question, but
You can leave yourself at the hotel or you have a yes. But you have to take like some things because as for sorry, then maybe it's a group, you can leave yourself at the hotel, but you need to take like some things because it will be 2 days working basically.
Any other questions? Lisa, you have a hand?
Lisa, IVSA and spinning number 27. I just wanted to ask, of course, from us, Ryan, you have 60 spots. Usually OCs don't fill that amount of spots. Do you intend to like drop the fee when you have like less people, so you have 40?
The price is per person, so we don't have a problem if we don't fill it. We wanted to have 60 people if everyone is interested, but we're talking to Anna to lower it till 40, I guess, 45. Yeah, so we will also think about that.
All right, any other questions? Then you may sit down.
Maybe it's a group. Follow our Instagram account, 73rd and Group. You will be fine.
The chair will now entertain a motion to untable agenda point 24, bylaw on budget limitations. John.
IVSA Taiwan, bidding number 59. I so move.
Discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. Agenda point untabled. Yuri, you may come up.
Yuri and the Exco, bidding number 12. I move to amend the bylaws as follows. I move to amend bylaw topic 15.2, regulations for the annual budget, by striking out travel expenses exceeding the annual budget will not be reimbursed, and adding revisions of the annual budget to modify its income and or expense must be justified and are subject to the GA approval. Second paragraph, travel expenses cannot be increased within the annual budget revision nor utilize the reserve fund capital. Values exceeding the annual budget cannot be reimbursed.
Any discussion? Yuri, you may speak first.
Yes, so Union is the Expo, bidding number 12. So this is just a very small change on the bylaws and the regulation of our annual budget. So as you guys can see today, we do have a very increase in the diversity of the team of officials, which is great. However, the budget is made before the election of them because it needs to be approved here. And this difficult for us actually made barely impossible that we have a definite prediction on the expenses of two officials traveling, with a special mention on Exco, which consists most of these travel expenses. So basically the idea of this bylaw is just to avoid issues in which we have a revision of the annual budget during the symposium to accommodate increase in expenses, since we have, as I said, a more diverse Exco, and which will also be very challenging to find a perfect budget in this upcoming term, considering that, well, we have events on the opposite sides of the world. So yeah, just to clarify something that was not very clear, kind of a gray area inside our bylaws.
Any further discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes by a
Okay, it's going to be easy stuff.
Yes. The chair will now entertain a motion to untable agenda point 22, bylaw amendment on DAD beneficiaries. Martha?
Martha Amsterdam IVSA television number 11 I so
You have to still wait for the microphone.
I'm sorry. Again.
Martha Amsterdam IVSA television number 11 I so move.
Second.
Yes, thank you. We have to wait because James can't keep up all the time, and otherwise it's not on the recording, and then you don't know who said what. Okay. Any discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, agenda point is untabled. All right. A jar. Oh, one. She is already here. No, go away. Okay, Ashra, the floor is yours.
As I said, the IVSA Exco, I move to change the bylaws as follows. So it's bylaw 15.4.2, development fund aims. The development fund benefits underserved communities and individuals around the world. It is the responsibility of the development aid director to select and fulfill projects and scholarship using this fund in line with the mission of IVSA. To add to add a section about the beneficiaries of the development fund.
Any discussion? Ajah, as the mover, you may speak first.
Okay, so previously in our bylaws, previously in our bylaws, it was never clearly defined who are the animals that can benefit from the development fund. However, we are only funding developing countries, and we had some issues this term with, for example, the IVSA Evidencia Fund, which was for low per capita income country, but we didn't have a proper list to choose which animals can actually benefit from it or not, which is why we're suggesting to define this clearly, and it is two categories of beneficiaries. The permanent ones, which are MOs included in the GDP less than 10% bracket according to the membership fee calculations in our bylaws, and this list will be updated annually. And these members will be able to benefit from the DAD opportunities the whole year. Then the temporary beneficiaries. For these, there is some crises happening and some countries facing some problems, so we have this temporary beneficiaries category to allow us to give these MOs the possibility to also benefit from the AD fund. They are the countries suffering from humanitarian crises, and the EXCO decide on them when it is brought to the attention of the EXCO that an MO is suffering from something. And then it is approved during an EXCO meeting, and then this temporary category can benefit from the DAD funds.
Any further discussion? Tammy? Is there a microphone? Yes. John? Tammy?
I move to stand at ease because I'm receiving a lot of questions.
For how long?
For 5 minutes.
discussion on standing IDs? Any objections? We're at ease for 5 minutes.
I'm in IVSA Peru. I moved to amend the amendment. So it says the permanent beneficiaries category includes amounts in the GDP 12% or less.
That was a motion. Any discussion on the motion? Tani, as the mover, you may speak first.
I host 17 countries and I think that I'm representing basically, and I think that stating and putting that level of 10% is too low, as we're living countries that really need the help of the opportunities, and we think 12% is a good number for them and for other countries that really need the support.
Any further discussion? Yuri? You may go first.
Yuri, IVSA Exco, meeting number 12. Important comments on this change. So 10% was made considering the GDP factors of IVSA, and 12 is not a GDP factor that we use, is not a gap, which will make the execution of these extremely hard and will compromise a lot of transparency of it.
Thank you, Yuri. Any further discussion? Do you want to say something? Sure. Tessa?
Tessa van Leiden, IVSA Netherlands, meeting number 14. Is it possible to see a list or a map of what countries are the GDP 10 or less and the GDP 12 or less? Thank you.
Hajar?
Hajar says the IVSA Exco. So according to our list, we have the 10% brackets and the 15% bracket. In the 10% bracket, we have 27 countries, and in the 15% bracket, we have 37 countries, which is 10 more countries. And since we have limited funding and we're not able to provide, like the current situation only allows us to provide opportunities for fewer amount of MOs, we decided to go with the 10% bracket, especially that as I said, we have limited fundings, and for the 12% brackets, we don't have the list currently. So,
Yaki?
Number 20, Yaki goes to IVSA Belgium. Would it be possible to give us an indication of how many people that apply for the scholarships are within the 10% bracket or within the 15? How many of the applications are people from those countries?
Yuri?
Hajar said the IVSA Exco. I believe for the scholarship, 3 of them were in the 10% bracket and 1 of them in the 15% bracket. This one.
You can do that. Any further discussion? Yaki?
Number 20, I think goes to IVSA Belgium. I meant how many of the people that applied for the scholarship.
Hajar? No, it's empty. Just use the one.
Hajar said the IVSA Exco. I don't have the exact numbers now,
The chair will now entertain a motion to table this agenda point. Tessa?
Tessa van Rijn, IVSA Netherlands, bidding number 14. I so move.
Any discussion? I want to table since documents have been requested, and I would like to give the officials the time to prepare these documents and provide them to you. Any further discussion? Any objections? Agenda point is tabled once more. The chair will now entertain a motion to go into recess. Andre?
Andre Popa, IVSA Romania, bidding number 123. I so move.
Second.
You're all very enthusiastic when we can go to recess. Any discussion?